Hello guys and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be analysing the NASDAQ100 futures chart. I hope you all had a fantastic weekend, but of course it's Monday and we're on the cusp of a brand new trading week. So very exciting times ahead, and it's going to be very interesting. I think this week will be very dictative as to where the NASDAQ100 trades next. Of course, the start of January, the start of 2022. For 3 weeks straight, we just plummeted towards the downside, and then pretty much as soon as the date hit the 1st of February, we started to see a nice move towards the upside, and we're about a quarter of the way now through February. And it's nice to see that the NASDAQ 100 has stopped falling, but on the flip side, we haven't really broken above that 200-day EMA and stayed above there. When we did break above there midweek last week, I said how important it was that we stayed up there, but unfortunately, the following trading session, we broke back down. Not to worry, the NASDAQ 100 held quite well due to Amazon's earnings, with that stock being up around 12%. Now, the good news going into this week is that there's, we are still quite busy in terms of earnings, but not many stocks are going to affect the NASDAQ 100 this week round. And that's quite good because, last week we saw it with Facebook, for example, down 25%. We all saw what a negative impact that had on the NASDAQ 100. And then we had Google, for example, that traded up around 10%. That obviously had a very positive effect on the NASDAQ 100. And then just after Facebook's earnings, we got Amazon, and luckily Amazon was up 12%, but that could have gone either way. And if Amazon would have missed their earnings call, then the NASDAQ 100 could have been in a much more dangerous area to what it is now. So, going into this week is quite good. In fact, there's not going to be many large any large US mega cap stocks reporting earnings. This kind of now just leads the ways to see what the true sentiment is here for the NASDAQ 100. I think from a technical perspective, there are a few key areas here. Now, we do not want to break below last week's swings low, and that swing low comes in at around 14,400. If we do break below that area, very simple to me, we are obviously then trading within this range where we've seen some consolidation about a week ago, but that obviously opens up the doors all the way down to below, down at 13,700. Some investors are still calling for a double bottom. A double bottom wouldn't really be a bad thing because I think that's what would then eventually catapult us back towards those all-time highs, but there's a lot of investors out there, especially those trading on leverage, who would just rather see this option, and it's a nice, slow, gradual move, whether it be, whether it takes us a month, 2 months, 3 months, but, why can't we just do that? But unfortunately, no one knows what's going to actually happen. We don't have a crystal ball here at Daily Market Movement, so your guess is as good as mine. We can just take it day by day. But as long as we're trading above last week's swing lows, that's very, very positive, and I think that going forward, the target would be the 200-day EMA. So if we can break back above there, stay above there for a day or two, that's then very positive. That would, that then should indicate a move up towards a 50-day EMA, which is currently trading at 15,345. And then the big question is whether we can break above the 50-day EMA and do the same what we've done with the 200-day EMA, break above it and stay above it. And if we can do that, then that obviously opens up the doors to those swing highs. So that's what I'm looking here from a technical perspective here for the NASDAQ 100. I've mentioned in previous videos that you can kind of look at the S&P 500 for guidance. The good news is that the S&P 500 has broken and stayed above the 200-day EMA. This is the type of pattern that I'm looking for the NASDAQ 100, but we did get rejected from that 50-day EMA. If the S&P 500 can break above the 50-day EMA and stay above it, so again, the exact same price movement that we've seen here, where we broke above that 200-day EMA and stayed above it, if we can see that again, but up here with a 50-day EMA, then that would be very bullish for the NASDAQ 100, and then that to me would indicate that we're on the right path to pairing most of the losses that have occurred so far in 2020. I think as of now, the NASDAQ 100 is still down around 10%. If I just get the percentage calculator, if I just get the first day of 2022 when we're trading all the way up here, so at this moment in time, we are still down 11%. So we've still got a lot of territory to go. Of course, if we flip that round and see how much room we've got to run towards the upside, we've got 12.5%, just under 13%. So there's still plenty of upside left in this rally. It feels like, we've seen a lot of volatility over the past couple of weeks, and we have. But I am still very, very bullish. I announced on my YouTube channel 2 weeks ago on that Monday when we had that massive swing low, that to me looked like the bottom. We may double bottom, but I don't think that we get any lower than that area there. So I have started investing in this market. I've put all my money to work. I had a cash pile of about 30%, and I put that all to work now. And at this moment, I'm making fantastic profits, but hopefully we can continue towards the upside. But very, very bullish going into today's trading session. And of course, as most days, I'll be on later on this evening to post another video to recap the market's movements.